So let's just start with a question that's, well, it's pretty unsettling. What if, right now, without you having any idea, your most sensitive information is already out there being bought and sold by criminals? It's a scary thought, but for a lot of people, this is the new reality. And if you're thinking, oh, that's a problem for the big corporations, I want you to look at this number: 43%. That's the percentage of all cyber attacks that are aimed directly at small businesses. So why them? Well, it's because they're seen as easy targets. They usually don't have the huge security teams and massive budgets that the big guys do. That makes them incredibly vulnerable. Okay, so before we can really understand the solution, we have to get a handle on the problem itself. And it's a tricky one because it's a threat that operates in the shadows of our digital lives. You often don't even know it's there until the damage is already done. So why are small businesses and individuals such prime targets? Well, the bad guys know they're often the most exposed, usually without a dedicated IT security person, let alone a whole department. And what's on the line here is, well, it's everything: your finances, your customers' trust, and the reputation you've worked so hard to build. And listen, we're not talking about some vague, abstract idea here. We're talking about the actual building blocks of your identity. Things like your email addresses, your home address, even your social security number. All of this can literally become currency on the dark web. So this massive security gap for regular people and smaller companies is exactly what some businesses are now trying to fix. And that brings us to the proposed solution: a totally new kind of digital guardian. And this is where Sentinel Cyber Solutions enters the picture. The company was literally built around one specific mission: to protect these vulnerable groups before a threat can actually strike, instead of just cleaning up the mess afterwards. Their official mission statement says it all: defending your data, protecting your reputation. And that really points to two things, right? It's not just about the technical stuff, the ones and zeros of data. It's also about the real-world impact, like protecting a business's good name and the trust it has with its customers. Okay, this is the most important part of their whole approach: the idea of being proactive. See, most of us are used to being reactive. You get that email saying your data was breached, and then you go change your password. Proactive security completely flips that around. It's all about building the shield before the attack even has a chance to land. So that's the philosophy. But how does it actually work as a service? Well, Sentinel's model is based on a process they call from scan to shield. And it really just boils down to these two simple steps. First, they let you figure out your own vulnerability with a totally free risk assessment. It's only after that, once you see for yourself what your exposure looks like, that they offer the option to turn on a full protection plan. You can see how this whole model seems designed to build trust. It starts with a no-cost, no-pressure entry point, a quick scan to show you where you might be exposed. And from there, if you choose to, you can move on to their full subscription service, which they call Cyber Shield. That's their ongoing active defense system. Now, to power all this monitoring, the company is tapping into an absolutely massive amount of data. We're talking over 140 billion with a B compromised records that they've sourced from data breaches found on the dark web. It's this enormous database they scan through to see if a customer's information has popped up somewhere it shouldn't be. For people who do decide to subscribe, there are two main plans. You've got Cyber Shield Personal, which, as you'd guess, is for individuals, and then there's Cyber Shield Business, which is scaled up for small to medium-sized businesses. It offers more than double the security tests each month and even gives you access to a dedicated account executive. So what does this all add up to? Let's kind of wrap it up by looking at the key things the company says makes them different, what they call their proactive advantage. It really comes down to these four pillars. First, being proactive, not reactive. We've talked about that. Then, their services are a mix of AI technology and actual human experts. The pricing is a simple, predictable monthly fee, no surprises. And the whole thing is built on being transparent, which starts with that free scan. This right here is the fundamental difference. This is the whole ball game. It's the difference between having an alarm that goes off when the intruder is already in your house versus having a guard who spots them walking up the driveway and locks the gate. And this defense isn't just some algorithm running on its own. The company says it combines that 24/7 scanning power of AI with the smarts of a human red team. Now, a red team is basically a group of ethical hackers, the good guys, who get paid to think like an attacker and constantly test the defenses for any weaknesses. So the company's entry point is super simple and there's no obligation. They encourage you to go to their site and get a free scan for your website and email. It's designed to give you a quick snapshot of where you stand right now. And, that really brings us to the final question, doesn't it? In a world where so much of our lives, our businesses, our identities exist online, just waiting to react isn't really a strategy anymore. So the question is, are you willing to just wait for the alarm to go off? Or is it maybe time to post a sentinel at the gate?